Mr. Manish Gupta ji to please come forward and make his presentation.
About some of the essentials of the smart city, sir. So when I was yesterday evening preparing this presentation, I came up with this word smart. We're using this word smart city, and I was not very comfortable with this smart, sir. Smart, of course, means, if you see the English dictionary, it means something which is fashionable, stylish, bright, fresh in appearance. It has some negative connotations also. It sometimes talk about a person who's impertinent, mischievous, or it talks about a person who takes advantage of the system and the others. A person who is one-upmanship, who doesn't have much regard to the law and uses law things for his own advantage. Sir, I don't know, I'm not very comfortable with this word smart, sir. We should think of some other word or some other solution. In our Indian culture, in Indian context, smart means something who is, it's a negative sense.
Decent is a better word.
Sir, decent may be a better word, and I have some formulation to suggest, sir, also, sir. Sir, if you see the literature, if you see the architecture, the literature on architecture and the town planning, the experts define city as a living organism. They compare it to a living organism. Like, for example, both cities and a living organism is an autonomous individual. It contains differentiated parts, but form and functions are linked. It's homeostatic, self-repairing, regulating towards a dynamic balance. It has cycle of life and death. It has size limits. It has a definite boundary, full of systems and processes and interactions and symbiosis that are complex in nature. And complexity of these interactive systems mimic the complexity of an organism. And nature's organism is a self-sufficient and lives in harmony with others. What the organism which God has created, I don't talk about man, but the organism which God has created, it lives with harmony with the remaining of the ecosystem that is around us. And when we talk about organism and the personality, there is a definition given by one psychologist called Sidney Gerard. He talks about healthy personality. Healthy personality, there is a spelling error here. Healthy personality is manifested by an individual who have been able to gratify their basic needs through acceptable behavior such that their own personality is no longer a problem to their self. They can take their self more or less for granted and devote energies and thought to socially meaningful interests and problems beyond security, lovability, and status. So this is a healthy personality. And he has defined certain traits of a healthy personality, such as a person, these are characteristics like openness, consciousness, extroversion, agreeableness. These are the versions of a healthy personality. These are the characteristics of a healthy personality. And coming back to the cities, what kind of a city that we need? We need cities that are self-sufficient, regenerative, vibrant, robust, that create opportunities, has social harmony, tolerance, etc. What sir has spoken in his address just below. And where the people have been able to gratify their basic needs and day-to-day existence is no longer a problem to them. People can take care of can take their daily needs for more or less for granted and devote energies and thought to socially meaningful interests and problems beyond security, lovability, and interest. And see how similar this definition is to the definition of a healthy personality given by the person Sidney Gerard. So we need this kind of cities. So perhaps a healthy city may be a better connotation or a better thing which we want to achieve, sir. We come to the essentials of healthy city. How do we define healthy cities and communities, sir? Where members participate in development and execution of activities, members that are physically, mentally, and emotionally healthy. One member's needs are met by all other members. They are in a symbiotic relationship. Have a sense of ownership and belongingness to the city. Community takes care of its footprints in a sensitive manner. They do not leave things behind. They are able to address disasters in a crisis situation. There is a healthy level of employment to all. They are able to they conserve resources for the community and so that everybody can use equally. They will not grab resources that everything comes to me. Members follow a socially acceptable behavior and member feel safe and secure environment. These are the essentials of what we need in our city, sir. So, sir, what we need to change is that the present culture which we all have today is I, me and myself. It has to change to me, sir. Unless or until we do that, sir, we just take a break, sir. Unless and until we do this, unless or until we change, we become a civilized citizen. I don't know. Presently, I feel that we are not a civilized citizen. We will break rules for our advantage. If my left lane is filled up, I'll move into the right lane. I will not hesitate anything to take somebody else's rights. We are not civilized citizens. So unless or until we become civilized citizens, our cities cannot become healthy or smart as per your connotation, sir. What can we do, sir? I am talking about as a citizen, sir. First of all, sir, we have to change our culture where we follow law out of our own conscience, sir. We don't break law for our own advantage. We keep the society above us. Even we will follow the law even if it is disadvantageous to us. It may be disadvantageous, it will be advantageous to the society. So this is the first thing we require, sir. We don't, we should have courtesy and regard to our fellow citizens, respect other person's rights. We never do this, sir. Respect public spaces. We are the first ones to encroach the public spaces, sir. If you take a plot, I would like a corner plot in the society so that I can encroach the side lane, sir. So we don't respect public spaces, sir. We have to, and not to personalize them, sir. Public spaces are for society and they will create much more value if they remain and belong to the society, sir. Criticize and speak who are deviant, sir. We are very accommodative because I am also breaking rules. If somebody else breaks rules, sir, chalega. So chalega, somehow we have to come out of this scenario, sir. Participate with the city government and other persons who are making the city better. अभी जो हम लोग कहते हैं कि जैसे कि एरिया को साफ करना म्युनिसिपैलिटी की रिस्पांसिबिलिटी है. I will narrate an incident. There was a water logging near my house and the contractor was doing some work on the road. तो वहाँ पे पानी भरा था, मच्छर थे. तो मैंने उससे कहा कि कॉन्ट्रैक्टर था वहाँ पे, उसने कहा इसको साफ कर दो यार, इसको क्यों करते हो? तो कहता कोई बात नहीं, अभी म्युनिसिपैलिटी आएंगे उस पे स्प्रे कर जाएंगे. He doesn't feel that it is his work. He feels कि ये म्युनिसिपैलिटी का काम है. Take care of waste and residue generated by the community locally and don't expect others to handle your shit. We always say we are all elitists. We say that we are for upper things of the society. So there will be somebody else who will handle my waste and who will handle my shit, sir. We have to come out of this mentality, sir. Everywhere else, in every developed country, people manage their own waste, sir. Take care of poor section of society and they are essential part of the city. Again, sir, we talk about कि street vendor नहीं होना चाहिए. We talk about कि जो lower society है, slums भगा दो. They are essential part. They are providing my mate will come from that place only. So they are an essential part. We have to live with them and we have to develop them. We have to take that step that we have a commitment and we have a duty towards that section of society for our own good. For our own good. Conserve resources and take care of environment. At present, what happens is those who have use the resources, maximize the use of resources, and those who haven't, they both are staying. And we have to become a gentleman. This is an English term although, but again, gentleman somehow, if you see in England, in British context, a child from his childhood is taught to be a gentleman. And what is a gentleman? Gentleman is one who respects others, who will give a seat to a lady, who will help the others, he will take disadvantage to himself and to benefit somebody else. So be a gentleman is what we have to become a smart city, sir. Come to government, sir. When we come to government, there is a role which government has to play. We have to create an environment of law enforcement. At present, a person who follows the law is at a disadvantageous position as compared to a smart person who violates law. So somehow our governments have been towards benefiting the lawbreakers. जो एनक्रोचमेंट करता है उसको रेगुलराइज कर देंगे, अनऑथराइज्ड कंस्ट्रक्शन को रेगुलराइज करेंगे और रेगुलराइजेशन का इतना सॉफ्ट स्कीम बनाएंगे कि इट इज इकोनॉमिकली मोर एडवांटेजियस टू बिल्ड एन अनऑथराइज्ड कॉलोनी देन टू बिल्ड एन ऑथराइज्ड कॉलोनी. देन व्हाई वुड एनीबॉडी बिल्ड एन ऑथराइज्ड कॉलोनी? हमारी सरकार की पॉलिसी ऐसी है कि अनऑथराइज्ड कॉलोनी बनाओ, उसमें ज्यादा पैसा है तो सब लोग ज्यादा पैसा बनाएंगे. So our environment, we have created an environment wherein law breaking is an advantage and law following is a disadvantage. We have to fix this now. We have to just turn it around. This is the role of government. We have to enforce the laws. Second is, many times our laws are complex and complicated and it is impossible to follow the law. So the government has to simplify the law so that the people can follow them. We have to talk about, we have to think कि क्या ये चीज छोड़ो ना, लोगों को करने दो, leave it. I am not the reservoir of all the wisdom in the world. The government can never be a reservoir of all the wisdom in the world. We have to come out of that mentality of rulers and the ruled. देखिए हम तो rulers हैं, we are the white skinned person. मुझे सब पता है, मैं बताऊंगा ऐसे ऐसे करना है, बाकी सब ऐसा करेंगे. We have to come out of it. People will be responsible. We have to leave, we have to simplify those rules. We have to create such public utilities and infrastructure that we have to rationalize the penalty structure to make it deterrent. Our penalty structures are act of 1950s and 60s and we are continuing with them and we have made no efforts to refine them. The penalty structure, unless or until is deterrent, the laws cannot be enforced. If you think that the government can sit around and an inspector can sit on every citizen to see वो काम ठीक कर रहा है, it is impossible. It is impossible. You have to have a deterrent penalty structure. 100 में से 2 पकड़े जाएंगे और 2 का जो पकड़े उनका साथ इतना एक्शन हो कि बाकी 98 डरे. That kind of a system we require. If you think the government can take care and ensure that all 100 उनके घर पे हर घर पे एक इंस्पेक्टर बैठा के we will check, it's not possible. It's not possible. Then we create public utilities and infrastructure so that the citizen can legitimately avail the services. आज की डेट में बहुत सारी चीजें ऐसी हैं जो citizen को services चाहिए, but we don't have utilities and infrastructure for those services. Public toilets is one of them. C&D waste disposal system is hard decisions are now the need of the day. Civic agencies, of course, will play an important role, and professionalization of civic agencies will be an important factor when we develop a healthy city or a smart city. And I would say that like in West and like in developed countries, the local bodies should be devolved with maximum functions and powers. It should not be centralized. It should not be centralized. And even these local bodies should further delegate and devolve the functions to further below, like mohalla committees and the mohalla and the RWAs and those things. The functions and powers and resources should be devolved as far as possible to as low position as possible, sir. So, sir, my thought is that a smart, your communication, your terminology and healthy, my terminology, sir, is not about hardware, it's not about roads, it's not about buildings, it's not about water supply, it's not about electricity, it's not about Wi-Fi. A smart city is about software that is inhabited by smart and healthy people. To close, sir, I will just read one small excerpt from our earlier president. He was a great visionary, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam's speech. This speech was called My Three Visions of India, My Three Visions of India, and this is the last part of his speech, sir. There are millions of achievements for India to boast of, but we are only obsessed with bad news and failures and disasters. You say our government is inefficient. You say that the municipality don't work, they don't pick up the garbage. You say that the phone don't work, the railways are a joke, the airlines are the worst in the world, minutes never reach their destination. You say that the country has been fed to the dogs and is in absolute pits. You say and say. Everybody is out to abuse and rape the country. Nobody thinks of feeding the system. Our conscience is mortgaged to money.